So, dear students, today our topic is pharmacotherapy for shock or the drugs which are used in the treatment of the shock. So, before start the sessions, you should know what is a shock. So, anyone are able to explain regarding the definition of shock or so with the help of this image. So, what you can understand because this image it indicates the treatment of shock. Okay, the shock is nothing but to decrease the blood flow to the vital organs like brain, heart, kidney, liver. So many vital organs are there. So where due to any unwanted event, so the blood supply is decreases. So due to decrease in the blood supply, the oxygen is also decreases to supply to the organs and along with the nutrition. So due to that, the loss of conscious is occurs. So that condition was known as a shock. Okay. So here the person they are putting the leg of the patient on a chair because so this person was suffering from the shock related to the hurt or he is suffering from the loss of conscious. So were the circulations towards the heart, towards the brain that was decreases. So already you know that is 1 by 3 of the blood that can circulated to the legs or lower part of the body. So that's why he putting the leg on the chair. So that's why whatever the blood circulations or blood present in the lower part of the body, so that was move towards the heart and towards the brain. And the demand of the lower part of the body, so that was decreases by raising the legs on the chair. So on that condition the brain and heart so they can guard the sufficient blood supply along with the oxygen and nutrition. So it is the primary step to treat the loss of conscious or to treat the shock any sudden if you are hearing the unwanted events, for example someone our close one so they are die. So due to hearing that message, so that person was suffering from the loss of consciousness, suddenly he can fall down on the that is in the room's floor. Okay, so that condition was known as a shock. So where as a pharmacist, if your work is first you improve the circulatory system toward the CNS brain, because if brain getting the less oxygen and less blood, then only the loss of conscious can be occur. So where you can relax the persons or you can remove the tight cloth on the chest, then also you can put the leg on the elevated area or on the chair, because so one third blood is circulation is present in our lower part of the body. If you are putting raise, so that entire one third blood is moving towards the head, then brain can got the sufficient oxygen and sufficient nutrition. So that was helpful for to prevent the shock or treat the shock or to control the loss of consciousness. This is the primary step you should be the remember. So now we learn regarding the definition. So shock is a condition or a state. So where decrease the supply of blood to the tissue or vital organs. Okay. So where due to any unwanted event or entry of bacteria or release of antigens or any hearing of unwanted messages, so where the heart can be collapsed or the circulatory systems can be collapsed. So due to that the vital organ do not got the sufficient amount of blood, so that condition was known as a shock. Or circulatory systems of our body fails to supply blood which contains oxygen and nutrition to the vital organs. So it indicates, so whatever the circulatory systems are there, especially systemic circulation, so due to any unwanted event or any clotting in the blood vessels or entry of the bacteria or any septicemia, so that was responsible for to collapse the circulatory system or to adherence the flow of the blood. So due to that, the organ do not got the sufficient blood or nutrition. So that was the conditions of the shocks. So regarding the symptoms, that is the first symptoms is weakness. So regularly the weakness is occurs even you got the sufficient okay. So regarding symptoms, the symptoms are weakness. So weakness, that is the fatigue followed by the weakness, because if our organ do not got the sufficient nutrition or energy, then only we are suffering weakness. Even we are got the balanced diet or nutritions, then also we are suffering from the weakness. That is the main or prime symptoms of the shock. If you are any shock or you are worried about something problems in your life, if you're worried or thinking about that only, so on that time the brain was failed to control the circulatory system. So on that time all the vital organs, so they can got the less oxygen and less nutrition even, so they are present in our body, but due to failure of the circulations or failure of the blood of the flow, because when we are thinking about only problems, so on that time the brain functions or CNS functions should be abnormal. So that was the conditions of the shock. And second, that is a fast heart rate. The heart rate is immediately increases. For example, you can go to the elevated place, a roof of your house or your college, so where you automatically your heart rate is increases, because as we are going to the height places, so where the oxygen content is less, so due to that our organ do not got the sufficient oxygen, so that demand was fulfilled by heart by enhancing the heart rate. So if the heart rate is increases or fast, mean it is the symptoms of shock, or it indicates your organ can got the less amount of the oxygen and nutrition. Immediately you should be relaxed or you can normalize your breathings. Okay. So next one is the fast breathing. That is also one of the symptoms. Then sweating, then anxiety. So due to hallucinations or lack of blood circulation, nutrition to the brain was suffering from the anxiety or some kind of fear is occurs in your body or your brain. So that is the indications of shock. So where you can avoid the problems or minimize the problems, or you can should be the talk with your family members or any one of the close friends regarding that problems. Further, you can avoid the development of the shock or the mortality or the death. Okay, so increase the thrust, then as well as low BP and cold hands or feet. So that is the cold of the hands and feet due to lack of the oxygen and nutrition. Then also last one is the loss of consciousness. That is the indications of the or symptoms shock. Also in your the color of your hand, that was the changes, or the skin is also becomes the blue, or especially during the shock or deficiency of oxygen our lips becomes the blue. That is the indications of the hypoxia, or that is the indications of the shock. So regarding the types of shock, the shock is mainly classified into four types. That is hypovolemic shock, cardiogenic shock, then as well as the obstructive shock and distributive shock. Then also now it is categorized as a bacteremic shock or a septic shock. So as the name indicate, hypovolemic shock means the blood volume was decreases because of you are worried about the problems, our brain is always thinking the family problems or any problems in the life. So on that time day by day the blood volume was decreases. So that was the condition is known as a hypovolemic shock, or any incident or accident, so where the loss of the blood is occurs, so that is also hypovolemic shock or irregular menstrual cycle. So there is a problem in the or the excess of flow of the blood during the menstrual cycle is also responsible for to cause of the hypovolemic shock. So that's why the hypovolemic shock is also known as a hemorrhagic shock. So the main risk factor for hypovolemic shock is the accident, that is the loss of the blood or bleeding, Then diarrhea. So due to diarrhea, lot of electrolytes, the body fluid, so that was the loss. So due to that, the volume of the blood was decreases. So that is also responsible for the hypovolemic shock. So that's why, so during the diarrhea conditions, you should be take the plenty of water. Otherwise, you should be suffering from the hypovolemic shock, and hypovolemic shock is responsible for to cause of the death. Even excess of emesis or omitting, that was also responsible for to cause of the hypovolemic shock due to loss of the electrolytes along with the body fluids during a emesis. And even there is a problem in the pancreatic or pancreatitis. It is also create the problem in the absorptions of the water from the large intestine or small intestine. So that was also responsible for to decrease the blood volume. So that were the risk factors for the hypovolemic shock. Simply the hypovolemic shock means, so when our plasma or blood, so that was less than the normal. So due to that, so what a nutrition they supplied to the organ, that was decreases because the blood is more concentrated. So due to concentrated in nature, its normal functions can be declined. So due to that, the vital organs start to fail. That is the failure of kidney or malfunctions of kidney or malfunctions of liver or any other vital organ. So they are malfunctions due to lack of the volume of the blood or hypovolemic. And second types of shock is known as the cardiogenic shock. So as the name indicates, it is related to the heart. So any problem in the circulatory system in the heart or coronary circulation problem in the heart, so that was responsible for the shock. So that shock was known as the cardiogenic shock, where the heart is not properly got the sufficient nutrition along with the oxygen, so due to failure of the coronary arteries. So that was the known as the cardiogenic shock. So risk factors for the cardiogenic shock is heart attack or cardiac attack or heart failure. So due to increased preload or afterload or any clot in the arteries, so they are supply oxygen to the cardiac muscle. So where they can decrease the supply of blood to the cardiac muscle along with the nutrition. So that is known as a cardiogenic shock. And third one is a obstructive shock, that is also known as the cardiac tamponade and as well as the tension pneumothorax. So due to accumulations of the excess fluid in the pleural cavity or as well as the in the pericardium, certain layers are there, so they are covered by the lungs, so they are covered by the hearts. So their major function is, so they can protect the heart over stretching during the overactivity of the heart. So heart can be expand, so that was controlled by a fluid that was present in the pericardium, or that fluid can avoid the frictions of the cardiac muscle. So like that, the lungs is also having a air sac or covered by a layer, so those are known as the pleural cavity. So if the pleural cavity, so were any abnormalities or inflammation or air will be increases or fluid will be increases, so that was create the normal functioning of the lungs and normal functioning of the heart. So that condition was known as a obstructive shock. Because of more fluid in the pericardium, heart cannot be properly contract. If contraction is less means, so less pressure was created. If the less pressure created means, the less blood can be moved towards the, that is the vital organ. So where the blood pressure was decreases due to lack of contractions of the myocardium, or if the lungs are not properly worked due to excess of air in the pleural cavity around the lungs, so where the oxygen process can be decreases, still our blood having the more and more and more oxygen. So due to that is not oxygen, carbon dioxide. So due to that, the person was suffering from the respiratory acidosis, and respiratory acidosis is responsible for to cause of the death of the organ. So that was the condition is known as a obstructive shock. And fourth one is a, that is the anaphylactic shock. It is one type of the hypersensitivity reaction. So due to entry of the allergen in our body, certain local hormones are released or autokines are released. That is the 5-HT, histamine and bradykinin. So these are involved in the hypersensitivity reactions by, or these are decreases the blood supply to the organ by causing the contractions of the blood vessel. So due to vasoconstrictions of the blood vessel, the blood is less supplied to the organs. So that condition was known as the anaphylactic shock, and anaphylactic shock is also responsible for two cause of the death. So that's why if you have any kind of allergy, you can visit to the doctor or you should be take the any anti-allergic medication. Otherwise, so the excess of 5-HT, histamine, bradykinin, so they are secreted in our body. So those are responsible to cause of the bronchospasm, or responsible to cause of the failure of the organs. So due to hypersensitivity reactions or anaphylactic shock. So last one that is known as the bacteremic shock or endotoxic shock or septic shock. So endo means, so it is outside the body. Certain toxicants, so they enter from outside body to the our body. Such toxicants are known as a endotoxicants. So due to entry of endotoxicants or external toxic substance, the person's that is circulatory systems was collapsed, or the blood flow that was decreases. So that condition was known as a endotoxic shock, or entry of the bacteria like E. coli. E. coli frequently available in the environment. Whatever you are taken the water, whatever the you are working in the field, so that soil it can contain the, that is the plenty of E. coli. Or when the food they are, if they are contaminated with the soils or contaminated with the environment, so that food is also consist of the E. coli. So when the E. coli, so they are enter in your body, so they are mainly causes the, that is the food poisoning, or they are mainly causes the systemic infections, that is the infections in the our blood systems or in the organs, or they are causes the food poisoning. So that was known as the bacteremic shock. So that's why if always you can prefer the fresh water, or you can prefer the hygienic food and water, and you live in the hygienic water, always you can clean the your surrounding area. Otherwise, so this E. coli frequently available in the environment that can easily enter in your body, so that was causes the systemic infection. So that systemic infection is responsible to cause of the bacteremic shock, or that entry of bacteria, so they can cause a sepsis. Sepsis is nothing but that is the formations of the pus or inflammations of the organs. So that was known as the sepsis. That condition was known as the septic shock. Due to sepsis, so all organ functions are abnormal. So due to that, the circulatory systems once again fails. So that condition was known as a septic shock. If you are having any bacterial infections or viral infection, means immediately you can take the care, or you can take the rest. Along with you should be go for the systemic antibiotics, or you can visit the doctors. Otherwise, so that septicemia or entry of bacteria infection is responsible to cause of the morbidity or death or failure of the any organs where the sepsis or infection should be the occur. So these are the different types of the shock. So like that the shock they may be classified into 5 types, that is the hypovolemic shock, cardiogenic shock, then as well as the obstructive, that is the obstructions of the flow of the blood, then anaphylactic shock, that is the hypersensitivity reaction, and as well as the bacterial shock or septic shock. So now we learn regarding the pharmacotherapy or treatment of the shock. So here whatever drug or medication, so they are used for the treatment of shock, they are mainly classified into 10 classes. So their main aim is, so they are improve the blood circulation to the organ. That is the prime aim of the all the medication. So they are used for the treatment of the shock. And second aim is, so they can correct the allergic reactions or hypersensitive reactions. And third aim is, so they can avoid the clotting of the blood or coagulations inside the blood vessel. So due to that they can improve the blood circulation. And fourth is, so they are stabilize the functions of the organ. So on that basis, so here the whatever the drug, so they are used for the treatment of shock, so they are mainly classified into 10 class. So the first class, so those drugs are known as the, that is, inotropic agents or sympathomimetic amines. Example is a norepinephrine, adrenaline, dopamine. So as the name, so inotropic agents means, so those drugs, so they are increases the force of contractions. Okay, such drugs are known as the inotropic agents, or those drugs they are stimulate the cardiac functions, and such drugs are known as the inotropic drugs or sympathomimetic amine. So as their name, so they are improve the blood circulations. So because shock is decrease in the blood flow to the vital organs, and these drugs, so they are shows the they can enhance the force of contraction or contractions of the myocardium. So due to that, the pressure on the blood was increases, then blood flow is also increases towards the vital organ by use of the norepinephrine, adrenaline, and dopamine. So that's why, so these drugs, so they are helpful for the treatment of the shock. Okay, and third one, second one is a, that is the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Example is a aspirin. So these drugs, so mainly correct the inflammation or treat the inflammation. So due to entry of bacteria, it can cause the inflammations. So that was treated with the help of the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug, that is aspirin. But here the aspirin, it can inhibit the platelet aggregations. So that platelet aggregation is responsible for the formations of the clot inside the blood vessels. So due to formations of clot, due to platelet aggregation, the blood circulations was decreases. Okay, so here the aspirin, it is a antiplatelet agent, or it can inhibit the platelet aggregation. So due to that, it can inhibit the development of the clot, or it can treat the clot. So due to that property, the aspirin is known as a life saving drug. It is helpful for the treatment of the any kind of the shock during the emergency. If the person is under shock means, immediately you can use the aspirin. So that aspirin, further it can inhibit the platelet aggregation, and it can inhibit the collapse of the circulatory system, because in any shock, the first, the blood circulatory systems can be collapsed due to platelet aggregations in any kind of shock. But administration of immediately drug like aspirin during the shock, it can avoid the platelet aggregation and avoid the collapse of the blood vessel. So that property or phenomena is helpful for treatment of the any kind of the shock. And third category drug, so those are known as the thrombolytic drugs, alteplase, reteplase. So already you know, so these drugs, so they are helpful for to dissolve the clot or to dissolve the thrombi. So if any clot is occurs in the coronary artery or cerebral artery or any blood vessels, so that is known as the thrombi. And administrations of these drugs, so they are day by day, so they are decreases the formations of the clot, and such drugs are known as the thrombolytic, and these drugs is also helpful for the treatment of the shock, or commonly used for the treatment of the cardiogenic shock or obstructive shock. Even they are used in the distributive shock due to anaphylactic reactions. Okay, so next one is the antiplatelet medications, that is oral clopidogrel, abeximab, then ftfibatide. So these drugs, so these are mainly inhibit the platelet aggregation. Then further, so they inhibit the formations of the blood plug or blood clot inside the blood vessel. So that property was helpful for treatment of the, that is a shock. Then next one is the blood thinning drugs like heparin. Heparin is also known as the anticoagulant. So heparin is also commonly used for treatment of the obstructive shock or cardiogenic shock. So where the heart failure can occur due to coagulations in the blood vessels, or shock can be occur due to coagulation in the blood vessels. So where, so they are used the heparin. Next one is the corticoids, that is the hydrocortisones. So hydrocortisones mainly they having the vasoconstriction property. So they are enhance the blood circulations towards the vital organ, And second side, the corticoid, so these are the potent drugs, so they are inhibit the antigen antibody reaction by showing a anti-eosinophilic activity, because eosinophil is a type of WBC. It was involved, or it can initiate the antigen antibody reaction. So here the corticoids like hydrocortisone, so they will be having the anti-eosinophilic activity. So due to that property, it can inhibit the antigen antibody reaction. So due to that, it is helpful for or commonly used for treatment of the anaphylactic shock or hypersensitivity reactions. Even also it is used for the treatment of the other that is shock, treatment of the shocks. Next one is the, that is alpha adrenoreceptors blocker like a phenoxybenzamine. Okay, already you know. So adrenoreceptors alpha, so they can present in the blood vessel. If any agonist bind on the alpha adrenoreceptor, it can cause the contractions of blood vessels. So due to contractions of blood vessel, the blood flow towards the organ that was decreases. So here their blocker like phenoxybenzamine, it can avoid the contraction. Then it can improve the blood circulation towards the organ. So due to that property, it is used in the treatment of the shock. Next one is the oxygen supply. So because shock is nothing but decrease the oxygen supply to the vital organ by administrations of artificial oxygen. So that was also helpful for the treatment of shock, or commonly used for the treatment of the shock by improving the oxygen circulations by through artificial or any other kind of form, where you can give the external oxygen to the patient, then oxygen level in the patient body was increases, then that patient was free from the shock. Next one is the cardiac glycosides like digitoxin and dobutamine. So already you know. So these drugs, so they are causes the accumulations of the calciums in the myocardiums or muscles of the heart. So due to that, the force of contraction increases, then blood circulation is also increases. So these drugs are commonly used for the treatment of the cardiogenic shock. But cardiac glycoside, they do not use the increase the oxygen consumption. So that's why. So these are also commonly used for treatment of the cardiogenic shock. So other drugs like, that is glucagon, it mainly increases the myocardial contractility. Then dextron, it increases the blood volume, that is expand the blood volume. So that's why the dextron is used in the treatment of the hypovolemic shock. Then vasodilators, so any blood vessels are collapsed in the obstructive shock, so where the vasodilators are helpful to dilate the blood vessels or to clear the obstructions. Then diuretics, so they mainly enhance the excretions of the toxicants. So those are responsible for to cause of the shock. So that's why in some cases the diuretics are also used for treatment of the shock. So next one, so we learn regarding the treatment of, that is hypovolemic shock. So it is also known as a low volume shock or oligenic shock or hemorrhagic shock. It means nothing but the blood volume is decreases. So that condition was known as a hypovolemic shock or low volume shock or oligenic shock, or also, so those are known as the hemorrhagic shock. So risk factors for that, that is the bleeding, diarrhea, vomiting, pancreatitis, loss of plasma during the burns and as well as in the trauma. So during the burns, trauma, bleeding, diarrhea, or vomiting or pancreatitis, the blood volume is decreases. So that was known as the low volume shock or hypovolemic shock. So that was identified by diagnosis, that is the pale or bluish color in the skin or on the lips, that is indications of the hypovolemic shock, because our skin become blue due to lack of oxygen in the organs. Because if blood visited to the organ means then it can take the carbon dioxide. If less blood visited to the organ means less oxygen, carbon dioxide can carried out towards the lungs. So due to that, the more carbon dioxide it can accumulate in the skin. So due to accumulations of carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide, our skin become the blue. that is the our lips become the blue, that is the indications of the hypovolemic shock. So treatment, first you administer the electrolytes, because to decrease the blood volume, all electrolyte volume was decreases or concentration was decreases. So due to decrease electrolyte balance, then only organs are under the malfunction, then only the loss of consciousness can be occur. So that was corrected with the help of the administrations of the electrolytes. Or you can administer the morphine to stabilize the brain function. Okay, if there is no head injury, definitely you can administer the morphine to control the pain that during the hemorrhagic shock. Then also you can administer that are treated with the vasopressor agent like dopamine, noradrenaline. So they are mainly enhance the blood pressure. Due to that, the more blood can be recirculated towards the lungs and heart towards the vital organ. Due to that, immediately oxygen can be changes that of with the carbon dioxide towards the organ, lungs and heart. So that property was helpful for the to control the hypovolemic shock. Then as well as you can administer the oxygen to correct the hypoxia. So next one, that is the cardiogenic shock, that is related to the failure of the heart. So due to failure of heart or any malfunctions in the heart, so then the shock is occur. So that kind of shock was known as a cardiogenic shock. The risk factors for cardiogenic shock is a heart failure, then or cardiac attack or myocardial infarction, acute myocarditis, or severe myocardial tachycardia that was responsible to decrease the blood circulation towards the myocardium or towards the cardiac muscle. So that condition was known as the cardiogenic shock. So due to that, the heart functions can be decreases. Okay, so it was treated with the help of the dopamine, dobutamine, noradrenaline, beta blocker in the case of myocardial infarction, then vasodilators and artificial oxygen. So these are a therapy. So they are used for the treatment of the cardiogenic shock. So next one is the bacteremic or septic shock. Risk factor is a E. coli infection. It was treated with the help of the volume replacement. Then that is the filtrations of the blood, or blood can be removed from the body, then other blood can be administered, or so that was the helpful for treatment of the septic sore or bacteremic. Or use the dopamine, dobutamine, noradrenaline, phenoxybenzamine, and also you can use the antibiotics to treat the bacterial infection. So these are therapy for the bacteremic shock or septic shock. So next one is the anaphylactic shock. It is also known as the hypersensitivity reaction, that is the entry of antigen. If any ant or any insect, if it is bite to you, means your skin becomes the redness or some red spot is occurs. So that is the allergic reactions. If it is excess, then those allergens from the site of infections or irritations or redness, if they enter in the blood, means so those are responsible to cause of the anaphylactic shock or failure of the systemic circulation. So that's why if any ant or insect, if they are bite to you, means if you are suffering from more irritation for longer time, more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, then immediately you can take the cetirizine. Otherwise, so that allergens, so they are responsible to release the 5-HT, histamine and bradykinin. Then due to that, our systems can be collapsed, our heart can be collapsed, lungs can be collapsed. So become due to development of the anaphylactic shock or hypersensitivity reaction. So that was treated with the help of the noradrenaline or antistonic like cetirizine, phenyramine maleate, or many drugs are there, or adrenaline. So the adrenaline is the choice of the drug or first line drug or main drug commonly used for treatment of the anaphylactic shock. The next one is the therapy for obstructive shock. The obstructive shock is nothing but any obstruction in the blood flow. So that was known as the obstructive shock. And these factors for obstructive shock is a increase the fluid in the pericardium or increase the air in the pleural cavity. So that was treated with the help of the AC inhibitors, nitroglycerin and dobutamine, and corticosteroids. So the therapy for the obstructive shock. Thank you.